Unmute. Yay! Unmuted. I'm trying to think of a 99 Luft balloons joke, but I don't think I can get one. Is that how you spell Luft balloons? There's only one O? Oh god, there's two L's and one O. I wonder if there's a Mario Golf game for Switch already out, or if they're like really saving their abilities. That's certainly a way to phrase that. Alright, where am I going? I'm going over here. Where? I did. Sorry, I had to ensure I had access to Coca-Cola at a drop of a hat. With the sick fucking pop you know and love. I need a tweet. I can't fucking read. I'm stupid and can't read. I'm not stupid. I can't read though. It's true. I'm just gonna keep putting out weirder and weirder tweets. Whoa! Okay. That's definitely new. Apparently it's updated since I last played it. I last played it when it was 1.1, and now it's 1.2. And I don't know if they've changed anything. I haven't played with this controller in a bit. As far as I know, there's no way to switch it so that you target with the directional buttons as opposed to the sticks. But I didn't want to use the fancy new controller. Ooh. Huzzah! I haven't played Tetris in a fucking minute, man. Holy shit. You know what game I've been wanting to play recently? And I've just not even fucking... I'm never gonna get around to it. Fucking Fallout 4. There's no reason for me to be like, Fallout 4, I should play Fallout 4. And yet... for some reason, here I am on twitch.tv, like, you know what would be swell and a not terrible use of my time? I say, lying to myself. There we go. I'm here. I'm ready. Yes. Hello, Holland. There we go. I didn't give anyone a chance to interact in chat, and so now I'm in the midst of a game, and I know I will not be able to look over at chat nearly as much as I really ought to. I haven't played Animal Crossing in a while, But I think every time that I think about playing Animal Crossing lately, I've just been sort of like, I actually honestly haven't even thought of it. Every time I've thought of a game recently, I've been like, I'll do something else. And someone, I think Zen was like, you should play Animal Crossing more. And I was like, maybe. Because I am just a disaster. All right. Borderlands 3 is now out for pre-order. I heard. I'm not big into Borderlands. Also, hello, Snake Master. I'm not big into Borderlands. I don't know. I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, I like Borderlands. And then I thought about it for more than a little while and I was like, I don't like Borderlands. Why did I even fucking think that I did? But the reality is I like the art style and like I was like enjoying the characters being there and stuff, but I don't actually like playing those games. I just don't find them like gameplay interesting past the initial like few bits and bobs. That said, I definitely understand the appeal and I would never begrudge anybody enjoying it. I just personally, it's not my cup of tea. I think that I would probably enjoy Borderlands more if I had like played 1 or 2 with multiple people for the whole playthrough. But I've only ever played like the first couple of areas, whatever you want to call them, with other people, and then it got put off of the then it just, you know, didn't. Is it not giving me the KO sound anymore? Did they get rid of the KO? So I don't know. I think I would probably play Borderlands 2 again if I was like, if I had somebody like who was like, hey, we're gonna play through the entire game, the two of us and or more. But the odds of that actually working out in a way that would like be consistent, it's just so unlikely. I haven't even fucking touched Stardew Valley recently, and I enjoy that genre. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. I haven't played Stardew because I started that game with Maggie and Walrus, and I've not at all attempted to schedule a second stream of that, which is, you know, it's my own damn fault. Okay. Oh no! Someone's targeted me and sent me garbage. Woo. Am no fan. I've only looked over at chat to see Holland posting in there, so there is a strong possibility that more is happening in chat. What's gonna happen if I get a fucking victory royale or whatever? What's gonna happen if I get like a perfect, like a #1 Tetris game? Fucking first game back. Because I'm not gonna want to keep doing it. I'm gonna be like, oh well, I'm never gonna top that tonight. Do I just stop and go get a milkshake from Sonic and then come back? Like, what then? Oh, man. I know I shouldn't get a milkshake from Sonic, but I might at some point. Not tonight. It's too late. Sonic's gonna close soon. Ooh. Oh, shit. That was bad. Okay. Oh, man. You're better than my mom. Do you mean at Tetris? I'm better than your mom at Tetris or something else? And is this question, do I play on PS4, Xbox? About, I don't know what the question is. Is it about Borderlands? This is the problem with all these things. When you die, fix chat. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Thank you, Justice Fury. Whatever would I do? God, that's embarrassing. Okay. This is on Switch. If you mean Borderlands for play on PS4, Xbox, Borderlands I have on Steam. And what platform? At Ginger Plucky. Play Overwatch. Xbox. He's a raging alcoholic who hates his life. So you know. Oh, that's pretty good. You've mentioned that your mother's quite good at Tetris, and I would be interested in seeing the skill at play there. I believe it. Yeah. Yeah, these streams are a whole different ball game than my usual ball games. My usual ball games are golf, and this one's like ping pong. I didn't see. I will look again whenever I get to another score thing. It might be lines. I'll look and I'll compare it to my own. Ready, go. It's fine. I saw a video earlier of Stephen Fry correcting someone's grammar on QI, and I was like, come on, Stephen, you're better than this. And they dunked on him right back with a wonderful grammatical knock joke. Is there anything more in character than me describing that as a wonderful grammatical knock joke? Oh boy. Trying to decide where I want these things to go. I'm trying to think of what I should talk about. I don't know. I had thought about doing a whole like Salt Power film 3, but those are such long bits, and they require like, I don't know. They're just something. They're just something else. You know what I mean? Truly incredible works of art formed by me just rambling as fast and as loosely as I can. And that's, you know, that's what it is. Oh boy, I saw my name mentioned in chat, and something about Justice Fury recommending me to people. I think I don't know where it was, but there was something that Walrus sent me once that was like, would you forget the last, it didn't give me any KO sound. There wasn't even sound happening there. Man. I think they got rid of the KO. Doesn't seem to be there anymore. I'm not hearing it. If it's there, then it's like a fucking really bad audio glitch or something. It's quieter. Man. I'm not hearing it at all. If it's there, it's just... I don't know. It was nice and loud. It was like, yeah, I got a fucking KO. I fucking just murdered somebody in Tetris. You know, the way a normal person would think and speak. That's the thing, is like, if it's only going to the stream, then why is that the only thing going to the stream? And all the other sounds coming through just fine. It might be like significantly quieter, and so it's easier to hear on your end than it is on mine, because I have everything. I don't think I have it pressed per se, but oh, that's a really bad waste of. There it is. Okay, it's messing up or something. Yeah, I don't think that the KO is working correctly. Because I don't think it's playing consistently. It's weird. It's definitely weird. Oh boy. Just trying to. You know, you gotta try. You gotta try. You gotta do your best. You gotta just try and try some more. That's life, you know what I mean? It's just what life is just trying. There was the KO. I think it heard me. I think the game heard me. It used the microphone built into my computer and sent the signal along the Elgato. And the game was like, he's on to us. Put the KO back in. I don't know why Tetris 99 sounds like that. There's already a voice that I've imitated in this game, and I'm still like, give it a new voice. It needs a new voice. Oh, Lord. I'm getting by quite well with just attackers on. You know what I mean? Now, I will point out that this particular individual I have targeted, these people have quite a few badges. So if I can get them beaten, that'll be good. If I can't, I'm going to die badly. And very badly for me. My children, our holdings, you know, our land. We're gonna lose everything to this Dust Bowl. No, 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 no! Wow. Oh, let's see. So the 40 there is 133. I don't know. Oh, it's level. Okay, sorry. I do know. That's why Jeffy Jeff, Druid, and this person beneath me all are in the 40s, but the person in the 30s is a purple, and then Aya Bear, who's 6, is a green. It's just level. It's just level. I don't know why I got that so confused. Oh, okay. If it works, do you want me to make you custom? Do you guys want custom ringtones? Holy shit! Do you guys want custom ringtones? Do you want me to just be like, hi, this is Druid S, and Holland's phone is ringing right now. Oh my goodness, Holland, you gotta answer your dang phone. Someone's calling you. I don't know who it is, but it's probably not me. I don't think it's me. I don't think I have your phone number, but I might. Holy shit, that's the worst ringtone. It just starts going off and someone's like, what the fuck? Who is that? And people are like, oh, that's Holland's phone. This is just some person on Twitch. Oh my god. Just fucking like... Can you imagine? I just imagine like people start using... Oh my god. I would love people like making multiple phrases that I've used their ringtones. Like, we all know that Walrus's would be, I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. From the Majora's Mask thing, but just looped around so much. And they'd be like, what? Who is that? Why are they so proud? Oh, Christ. Fucking, and then, what else? What are some other ones that everybody likes so much? I don't want to throw out a hungry, thirsty, horny in here, but, you know. Oh yeah, the zone. Welcome to the zone. Please keep your belongings in sight. Any unattended parcels will be confiscated by the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, individuals near here. I need to turn the AC down. It's blowing the fuck out of my neck right now. Oh, it heard. I've got one of those Nest learning thermostats. It's currently plotting my demise, but you know what? It does learn how to keep me nice and cool. Holy shit. Nest learning thermostats. This is my terrible Matthew McConaughey impersonation. Do you love it? Nest learning thermostat. It'll keep you cool, and then it'll sell your soul to the singularity. All right. Nest learning thermostats. It'll keep your house feeling all right. I guarantee they tried to make him say that, and he was like, no, I'm not saying that. I refuse. You can't make me. You're not my dad, and you're not my brother. His brother, whose name is Rooster. I just imagine someone's text tone. They're just sitting at, like, I don't know, a library or something, and you just, hold on, can I actually get, like, let me quit out of this. Can I get potentially, like, now I'm gonna see if I can fuck around with my stuff well enough to create something really interesting. No, I can't. I was gonna try and give myself an EQ to give me a really heavy, like, I was gonna see if I could give myself like an EQ that would like be really like mid heavy, and then just like someone's in a library is just like dum reading about linguistics or whatever, looking at some microfiche, And you just hear, Pizza Hut's new crust will make you say, I want that goo in my face hole. And they're like, oh, sorry, I just got a text message from my pharmacy saying that my prescriptions are ready to be picked up. And everybody around them is like, that's not the question we have. What the fuck was any of that? Oh, shit. Oh, announcement. I've got an announcement to make. Announce. I don't have the text or anything, do I? Do I have that text announcement around anywhere? I had a thing that I made for the Ganon stream that was an announcement. It just said announcement, and then I hit the button off and on a bunch to make it flash. Tomorrow, happy first contact day. I'm gonna do FTL. We're gonna go do space, Final Frontier. These are the voyages of a starship, potentially the Enterprise, maybe a different one. It's continuing. Fuck. Can your man do that? No shit. Can your man get killed by fucking... Justice Fury. Mario A Space Odyssey? Unfortunately, no. I don't have any Mario Galaxy. I would just do general space games if I had them, but I don't know how to play Elite Dangerous. And I don't know if I have any other space games. I mean, I have, like, Space-Based DF9 if I want to, like, torture myself with a broken, unfinished game that was fucking put on the public's shoulders without any support and then released as open source. Please finish our game that we want to sell for money. You guys can finish our game for us. Thanks, Double Fine. Super cool of you. We don't want to have to support it. Turned out it was a lot harder to make this and all the other games we're trying to make right now. So you guys can finish it for us. Thanks, Double Fine. Heart you too, Double Fine. At least Tim Schafer broke his streak of saying something problematic every time he was invited to go to an awards ceremony by finally finding the one unproblematic thing he could say while still kind of being mean to somebody. Which was just fuck Nazis, which, like, yeah, duh, Tim. Everybody's like, wow, my favorite game developer said fuck Nazis. Like, yes, it's a low bar. Let's fucking start holding PewDiePie to this standard and see how long he lasts. Oof. Oof. Is Druid getting political? Is Druid getting political right now? Tonight at 10, is Druid getting political? Hello, and welcome to CBS Nightly News. I'm your newscaster, Frank Stanklin. I'm joined today, tonight's top story is Druid S becoming too political. And then it cuts to, like, a bunch of people walking around a neighborhood, and it's like, I used to love his work, and then he started getting all political and saying things that were construed as political. Gene Rasmussen has been watching Druid S for decades. but has recently found himself in a situation he never expected to deal with. Please don't put that one in the Discord. Please don't put that one in the Discord, Justice Fury. I'm begging you. Please, I have a wife and children. No, not that one either. Shit. Oh, boy. You should put that one in the Discord, actually. You really should. If you have a screenshot or can get it quickly, you should fucking put that in the goddamn Discord. It's embarrassingly bad. All I wanted was to follow Funny Person, Funny Man, Twitch Funny Man, Dreward S., formerly known as a different name that I'm not gonna say. I don't want you to look him up. And he decided to start getting all political. The move has been seen as controversial by some, but a welcome respite for others. I was just tired of him dying in Mega Man 150 times in a row. At least now he dies in Mega Man and then says, "Seize the means of production, comrades." We reached out to Dreward S for comment, and this was what he had to say. I mean, I'm a political person, right? I get to be political, right? Like I'm not like not a person anymore just because I play video games on the internet. I still have opinions and beliefs. I don't think that my opinions are poorly researched or anything, so I don't see what the problem is here. You know, I'm just saying that all you have is to lose is your chains, join the IWW. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean, Lester Holt? Truly, a lost cause of a human being. The joke here is that even Lester Holt, beloved newscaster Lester Holt, who I'm pretty sure does not work for CBS, he works for NBC, is not a communist. Even he is a capitalist. Believed better of you, Lester. I really did. Shit. Oh, what am I doing? For NBC Nightly News, I'm Lester Holt. I love Lester Holt. You know, it's not fair to hold him to a standard of having to be a communist. Lester Holt can be just himself, you know? He doesn't need to conform to my political beliefs. And I think that Lester Holt would rather believe in me than in Donald Trump. And that's okay with me. That's what I like. I believe in Lester Holt. I heart you, Lester Holt. Someone send this to Lester Holt and tell him that I heart him. And when he doesn't respond back, I'll cry. That's just what's gonna happen. Oh, boy. It's like a threat now. It's like emotional blackmail. Just to be like, Lester Holt, please email me back. And if you don't, I'm gonna fucking cry. I wouldn't cry. I would be very upset if Lester Holt was like, Dreward, thank you for your letter. Unfortunately, I can't say that I would support you or your radical political beliefs that everyone should get to live. Your beliefs that everyone deserves a chance at life. Your beliefs that people once alive should be taken care of. Or those beliefs are too radical for me. Oh, man. That really is what it fucking feels like sometimes. It's just like, I'm just saying that human beings shouldn't be left to die in the dirt for no reason other than because for artificial reasons. And everybody else says, fuck you, I love those artificial reasons, and you should fuck yourself. Where's the civility, liberal? And I'm like, well, I'm not a liberal, first of all. I'm a leftist. There is a difference. Second of all, rude. Oh my god. I don't know. Do I want to do politics tonight? Do I want to do politics ever? Do I want to be a politician? Do I want to run for the House of Representatives? Do I want to try and represent my county, my state, my country? Do I want to try and do more for the world and represent them positively? Do I want to even try to do that, or do I rather just sit here and play video games for the rest of my life? You know what I mean? Like, we're all going to die in the next 15 years, and everybody's going to be sad about that, you know? As we should be. Like, we should be pretty fucking sad about it. We had a chance to stop it like 70 years ago, and we just fucking didn't because Shell didn't want us to. So, like, you know. I'm just gonna die playing video games. I'm gonna die as I lived, playing video games. Yeah, I got a KO. Oh, shit. Dang it. Fronk it. Just farnk it. Can't believe myself. Gosh dang and diddly. How could I? This is what would happen if I ran the country. Just fucking run it into the goddamn ground. Fucking fail at Tetris every day, except Tetris is international diplomacy. That's what I thought you did. Is this the clip? Embarrassed. Ooh. That was a pretty solid T-spin on my part. I will take pride in that T-spin. I was able to make kind of a save for my shitty moves up to that point. But in the end, my own failures and everything else is... The stream is lagging for you? Dang phone Wi-Fi? Yeah. You know who doesn't have the problem of phone Wi-Fi being sucky? Japan. You want to know why? Because the internet's nationalized there. So they all get good speeds because there's no reason for them to compete, so they can't undercut each other. They just provide good service to all citizens. Meanwhile, everybody in America's like, oh, if we nationalize things, it'll just go shitty. Fuck you. Oh, I was playing with one hand for a second there. Sorry. Oh, boy. This is it's embarrassing. It's painful to look at. It's hard to live with. It's hard to live with my failures in Tetris. I want to watch The Big Short again. The Big Short is a very, like, fulfilling movie for me. You know what I mean? It makes me feel better. It's like, here's a movie where the bad guy is capitalism. It's not advertised as such. But it is. It's fucking true, man. Fucking The Big Short is an amazing movie that, like, most people will never understand. Which is fine. Like, I don't expect everybody to be into economics the way that I am. It's fine. It's fine. It's like the movie It Might Get Loud, and not everybody's into guitar the way that I am, or like the book The Art of Language Invention, not everybody's into language the way that I am. It's fine. However, ooh. Big Short's really good. Because, like, the whole point of the movie is just like, hey, if you don't take care of your capitalism, you know what happens? Economic collapse. Damn. Damn. Fucking savage. Absolutely savage. Justice Fury's over here in the fucking Discord. Just fucking devastating me. Posting images of my failure for all to see. Oh. I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to put the fucking... God. There we go. My eyes kind of hurt. I don't know. I need something. There's something in my life I need, and I don't know what it is. Most people would say a touch of another human being, and I would say probably, but that's not the point. I don't know. I just feel unfulfilled. KO! KOs are good. I like those. I don't know if I need to write more. I don't know if I need to fucking go out and run for president. I don't know if I need to fucking, like, move to a cabin in Wyoming and study dark magic or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no telling what I need to do. Your profile picture in Tetris. What's your is it Twitch profile picture? Oh, Jesus. I fucked up and I clicked wrong. Oh, God. Possibly. Honestly, I would, if I could play like my own game here, if it wasn't like a competitive game where people could like come in and ruin it, I would definitely try to make the little guy from V. I call it V. Is V fine? There's 6 V's. I want to call it V. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to fucking do for your Discord one. All right, let's theoretically, when Puyo Tetris is on sale. I didn't even realize I was for Switch and like in physical copies until I was at Target recently, and I was like, oh, well, look at that. For some reason, I talk like a chicken whenever I'm at Target. Also, for some reason, that's what chickens sound like in my mind. Well, would you look at that? All right. Well, let's establish an exploratory committee right here on twitch.tv/DruidS to investigate my ability to run for president. Oh boy. So, I mean, okay. Pros of me running for president. 1, definitely would get more Twitch followers. Yeah, like, that's just a given. If I actually, like, announced a run for president, managed to make myself a candidate in the ways that they ask me to, oh, boy. If I followed DNC rules to do it, definitely would be interesting. Now, the question comes... So, first question, do I run as an independent or do I run as a Democrat? Because I'm not running as a Republican, obviously. They would fucking sniff me out in an instant and be like, this fucking guy can't be fucking, we're not gonna have this dude make our president a lame duck. Which is a very funny term. So that's really the first question. If I run as independent, am I like running as independent means I lose, right? So I guess if we're trying to win, I gotta run Democrat. It's already a crowded field, but you know, and I'm not old enough to run for president. Actually, I've just just realized big hurdle number one. I'm not 35 years old. Whoops. Oh boy. Do you think that would stop me if I tried to go kind of far? Do you think it would stop me if I tried to like Do you think it would stop me if I tried to run for president? If I fucking like announce a presidency, people are like, you're not 35, and I'd be like, is that gonna stop me from running? No, I believe in, and then I don't know, anime body pillows for all. 2 anime body pillows in every bed. Christ, now that is a fucking campaign. Just troll campaign. Just fucking not even attempting to like make it a legitimate thing. Oh fuck. Well, there I go. Ooh-woos for all. Yeah, I've played V. I just mean like I don't know how to pronounce the name of the game. I don't know what the common pronunciation of the game's title is, because each V is a different color represented by like a letter V. Have a good stream, Walrus. Sorry I didn't talk to you more. Do you have a present 2028? I think I won't be old enough until 2032. Let me think. I turned 35. I would turn 35 in 2028, at the very end of 2028. And so I would essentially be running to be president without being able to take the office until after my birthday, which would be when my inauguration would be, was after my birthday. So, say V6. Okay. I'm 25. So, I'm 25. I was born at the end of 93. So I will turn 35 at the end of 2028. So I don't know if the rule is like, no one's ever gotten elected that close. I think the youngest person ever elected was John F. Kennedy, and I think he was in his 40s whenever he was elected. So if for 2028 to work, yeah, 2028 to work would mean that I would be like turning 35 on the way to my inauguration, which would be fantastic, and I'm sure would make everybody really mad. So let's, for a moment, not tackle the question by saying, oh, well, we'll just give up on being president then. Do you think that would have stopped George Washington from being president? No. George Washington would have never stopped being president just because he wasn't 35 yet. He would have still fucking campaigned. Washington really tried, by the way, in case you were curious. Washington actually argued for the rest of his life that he didn't want to be president, that he was real, that it was like super unfair. And everybody was so mean to him because he didn't want to be president, but he didn't want to let down his country. And so he's going to be president, but he doesn't have to like it, Martha. It's so fake. It's so stupid. I love that about Washington, that he was just like, I'm going to make it seem like I didn't want to do this. Like he's fucking the most tsundere president there ever was. So so okay, we understand, like, if I'm going to go in there to win, if I'm in it to win it, which I am, I'm going to run Democrat, right? That's gonna be my jam. So that's good. We've got that figured out. I'm not gonna run independent. I'm not gonna run Green Party. I'm not gonna run Libertarian. I'm not Ross Perot. I don't happen to like splitting votes, and giving the fucking presidency to, you know, someone I disagree with wholeheartedly on the basis of I don't want to have to fucking run as anybody else. All right. So what's my, like, obviously the anime body pillows joke is a Herbert Hoover reference that I think is funny. So, like, that's not going to be my campaign promise. What's going to be my thing? What's going to be my, like, you know, Obama was all about hope and healthcare, and Trump's campaign was build the wall. What's going to be my refrain? And like Bernie's is like free college, free healthcare, not free, but, you know, nationalized both. What's going to be my campaign? What's going to be my thing? Jesus Christ, that fucking hard drop there was just miserable. Why am I doing this to myself? I guess Trump did hold to his campaign promises, kind of, because he was like, build the wall, and he's doing his damnedest to get that wall built. It's like not going his way, and it's not going to go his way, because when you're part of the I don't want to pay any more taxes party, you really can't afford to campaign on raising taxes to build a wall that won't fucking work. But he got the Muslim ban through for a little while, and he banned trans people from the military. So if you're into those things, I guess you could be proud of him. I'm not, so I hate him, but, you know, you do you. I think that if we're okay, so if I were to campaign right now, I think that one of my campaign ideas would be attempting to tackle student loan debt. Not just ensuring that it gets lent out less through nationalizing college, but helping people who are currently dealing with it through loan forgiveness and finding ways to get America back to spending. Spend, baby, spend. Because, like, you could reinvigorate the economy right now and save us from recession if you just, like, made sure that people could afford to buy houses. Like, millennials aren't killing diamonds. Millennials can't afford diamonds. I promise you. I've met plenty of dumb people in my life who aren't like, we're not holier than thou and being like, oh, we don't want to get diamonds because diamonds are like conflict minerals and it's bad and they're artificially increased in price and all that shit. Like, that is true. That's not the problem, though. The problem is we're too goddamn poor to buy them. So fucking you know, you wanna encourage the economy. You wanna encourage consumption. Give more people money to work with. Them's the fucking breaks. Beto O'Rourke comes against me in a fucking debate, and I'm just like, I mean, Beto's cool and all, and I'm not against the dude being in favor of whatever, but he doesn't seem to be in favor of anything right now. He's just kind of down to run for president, which is, like, not a thing. You can't just be down with that. Washington did not campaign heavily. He was elected nearly unanimously, I think. Drink about 15 Heineken. God damn. Oh my god. Is that Wasting Time by Kid Rock? I don't know about fuck the Special Olympics. Yeah, trust me, I know quite a few Kid Rock references. Probably more than I have any right to. Conflict minerals. Diamonds aren't actually conflict minerals. There are blood diamonds, but that's different. Conflict minerals are things... Oh, God. I forgot I didn't realize he defunded that, but I think I heard about that. I think I heard about DeVos doing that and having an influence in that. Which is, you know, super cool. No, I don't think riboflavin is a conflict mineral, if I'm correct. It's shit that's used in, like, phones. There's something in phones that's, like, only found in certain places in Africa, and so, like, all kinds of crime syndicates and extra governmental warlords are, like, taking care to make sure they have lots of it and selling it off for large prices. That's what I mean. It is now. Hello, Doc. We're doing a exploratory committee into my attempted run for president. I'm going to run for president in 2028, even though I will turn 35 at the end of the campaign, and just see if it works, you know? See if anybody will let me or stop me. I guess the Federal Elections Commission would stop me. You know what I mean? That's kind of their whole job. Is to stop idiots from fucking undermining our democracy. They didn't do a good job in 2016, but, you know, they tried. Oh, boy. Really poor play today in Tetris land from Druid. You know what I'm saying? Just really, really poor show. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be puffing a Winston, drinking a 4-0. Kid Rock, and I'ma let you know. That song's, like, kind of a jam. I'm not gonna lie to you. That song's kind of a bop. I feel like Kid Rock gets a lot of shit, because after Devil Without a Cause, he definitely, like, fell off in terms of songwriting quality. But I feel like Devil Without a Cause has some joy to it. I guess, could the platform be legalize it and then we go out there, can we go out there and say legalize it and then contact, Faith No More and have them do a whole thing about that's it, what is it? So that way people can be like, well, what is it that we're legalizing? And I'm like, we're legalizing all sorts of things, folks. My previous joke answer, Doc, was that I would do A platform of 2 anime body pillows in every bed. What you got? What do you want to legalize? What you got? Terrible. Oh boy. I don't know. I think there'd be a controversy in that once everybody finds how much of a teetotaler I am. They'd be like, wow, this guy doesn't want to actually legalize it. This guy's just fucking... This guy's pandering. He's a fucking pandering Democrat. They would yell angrily. And I would be like, yes. Have you looked at the DNC ever? Damn. Damn. Just roasting DNC today. Yeah, it's fair. I don't do sex work, and that should be legalized. And you know, given more respect. Yeah, I just dropped a sex work positive message on twitch.tv/DrewardS. Y'all don't even know what I'm capable of anymore. My fucking third eye is wide the fuck open. Oh my god. What am I fucking talking about anymore? Oh, no, no. No, 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 no. Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. Rather have a chicken in my pot, thanks. See, Doc gets it. This is why I make jokes like that, because I know Doc will get them. It's actually, Doc probably knows, but it's a chicken in every pot and 2 cars in every garage, which Herbert Hoover said in 1928. Nobody had any chickens or garages after that. Legalize it, baby. Yeah. That's my re-election phrase. That we run in 2028 on the platform of legalize it, and once we get in there, we go into the re-election phase like legalize it, baby. And everybody's like, what do we have left to legalize? It's like you just got finger taps on forehead on temple. Taps finger on temple. You just gotta think a little more about that one, buckaroo. I don't know. I think that if I do want to get at least kind of a, before I get into the real jokes about like, let's just fucking, if I were president, what would I do? I'm trying to think of like, if I tried to run for president, what would be my platform? I don't know. Student loan debt's a thing I care a lot about. And students. Students. Yep. I need to turn the AC down. I said it earlier and the AC cut off, but I gotta turn it down. It's just too fucking cold. I turned it on because it was too hot, and then I turned it too low. So initially I was like, oh yeah, baby, give me that sweet fucking sexy cold air. And now it's too cold, and I'm like, fuck, I really, really fucking flew too close to the sun on this one and asked too much of my air conditioning, and now it's just blowing too much. It's just doing too much for me. Please, I need you to stop air conditioning. Fuck. That's better. I could executive order pizzas. Ooh. Man. Watch politics swing back to the way it was in the 90s, immediately post-Trump, where, like, we get to the point where it's like we're trying to vet candidates and someone's just like, Mr. Druid Streams, do you think pineapple is a fine topping for pizza? And I was like, yeah, why not? People can put whatever they want on their pizzas. I have no problem with pineapple. Like, you know, it's cool. I put a lot of pineapple on pizza when I worked at a pizza place years and years ago. And they'll all be like, communist Druid, like previously they described me as like, leftist Druid Streams believes in, and this is like, communist Druid Streams believes in fucking people's pineapple being on your pizza. Oh, Christ. I hate it. I hate the idea that politics will just go back to being like that again. Fuck. Just trying to think, like, recently described as the Joseph Stalin of pizza advocates. National presidential candidate Druid Streams has come under fire lately for advocating that pineapple on pizza is, quote, not that bad. Disgusting. Scum like him should be hanged. It's like, Jesus. Pineapple Gate. It would happen. God. That's what politics was like a couple years ago. Remember when politics a couple years ago was like, Obama wore a tan suit. Obama saluted with a latte in his hand. Worst president ever. And Donald Trump's like locking people in cages and like banning trans people from being in the military and like fucking just otherwise being a shitty person and like lied and claimed his dad was from Germany, which he's just fucking not. And like yet years ago it was just like, Obama, worst president Obama has fucking decided to just, it's fucking terrible. Hate that shit. I hate political commentary. Hate 24-hour news. That's the one thing you know what? I honestly, like, everybody at the pizza place, whenever somebody ordered anchovies as a topping on pizza, we were all like, for a while, everybody was like, ew, it's gross, it's terrible. I wish that the people on Twitter that I follow would stop watching Fox News and stop showing it to me. It's pretty much the same thing, I assume, between anchovies and sardines. Little tiny fish covered in oil and salt. But I gotta be honest, man. I've been tempted by that forbidden fruit. I have been tempted by that one sacred vow that all pizza people make, which is never cross the line into liking sardines or anchovies on pizza. And man, there was a day where I just smelled it and I was like, wow, I kind of want to try that and see if it tastes good. And man, this clip's gonna be my fucking ground by the pineapple, you know what I mean? People are gonna find this in fucking 10 years and be like, wow, listen to Druid S admit that he would fucking put anchovies on pizza for his own sick pleasure, that fucking weirdo. Have to come out and be like, I am not pro anchovy. Please leave my family out of this. Oh, Christ. By the way, there is no sacred vow you take as a pizza person, in case you were curious. There was no cult-like vow I took. And if there was, it certainly wouldn't be anchovy related. It really is the forbidden fruit, though. Wow. I am kind of stunned by this recovery here. I do agree that a vaguely positive sort of campaign. I think vaguely positive campaigns work better in strong economic times. So, like, even though a chicken in every pot and 2 cars in every garage is pretty specific, the vague concept behind it worked because in 1928, shit was still going awesome. The reason Obama's campaign was able to go and succeed as hope, change, these single word images and all that stuff, even though it was pretty much just center-left stuff. Wow. Singing telegrams for everything. I mean, there was a Tetris game released by Ubisoft that I don't remember if it was released for Xbox or PS4 or both, or if it was last generation. But there was a Tetris game that Ubisoft released that like didn't work right. Oh no, I just mean like, I don't mean the average citizen. I mean that like, you can do vague gestures of goodwill when the economy's not in the fucking crapper, you know? White people did well under Bush, and white people are the ones that they're trying to get to votes. Ugh. It was like the frame rate was bad and it crashed a bunch, which is like, how do you like, they managed to get this to work on computers in the fucking Soviet Union and you can't make Tetris work now? I don't mean to suggest that Bush was good for anybody. I just mean that like the Dow was up, people were making money, and there wasn't the like need for a bailout at the time of the campaign, the way that there was, like, at the start of the campaign, the bailout was not an idea yet, as far as I'm aware. And it worked as a result of that. It's nebulous. Old white people who vote are usually who they're trying to get on their side. Because old white people who vote are easier to guarantee the votes of than young people. Which is not because young people don't know how to vote. It's because disenfranchisement, jobs, factors. There's star drops in Stardew Valley? I didn't know that. Anyway, we're going into a recession right now. So, you gotta be ready for that. Don't stop buying things because I told you to. But do be aware that we are going to go into a recession in the next 6 months or so, probably. If we don't, I'd love to be wrong. But, yeah. I'm not just talking out of my ass. I'm saying that based on my own belief, based on the market, the behavior, tax cut, bill, all sorts of things. I could get into the math if you want me to. Not the math. It's sort of a understanding of, like, what it's going to be based on my own understanding of the situation at hand. But, I would say invest in stable return funds. Don't change your 401k to anything more risky than that. If you really want to make some dosh, invest your 401ks that I know all of you who watch have. Invest your 401ks into money market accounts to short the European currency. Because fucking later this year, it's going to hit the shitter. You die? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you die for real, or did you just die like, oh no, oh gosh, I've gone to the hospital and now I have less money? Is there a way to die for real? I don't actually know if there's a way to die for real in Stardew. I know there's a way where you, like, just wake up in the hospital and you just have to pay some cash, and then they're like, oh, we found you. Fucking slimes got me. Slime ban if elected. I'll ban all slimes from entering the country. Sorry, I can't do that bit. I would not. Slimes people too. You were encroaching on their territory and trying to take their resources, and they defended themselves. It's my belief. Yeah. You're a colonizer, Holland. How do you feel? I'm not being very supportive right now. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. What? Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Shit. I just ran to the best streams. I'm sorry, Holland. I shouldn't be mean to you during this difficult time. I hope that you're able to make your way out of this trying time. Hi, Zen. But please don't call me the, please don't call me a poopy dum-dum. Or I won't listen to you. Alright, well, I hope you're able to get your yams figured out. I don't know if there's a way to get those back. I don't know if there was a way to bribe the wizard to do magic for you. Can you imagine? Man. I'm trying to think of what else my platform, before I actually decide to stop taking this discussion seriously, what my platform would be further were I to run for president. I don't know. Cooperation. I want to cooperate. And that means that I'm going to call Republicans a bunch of cowards who don't believe in their own politics, because if they did, they wouldn't be so scared of elections. I said it. God, I would... Well, this is the point where I'm now going to start taking this question seriously at all. Not that I've been taking it very seriously so far, but God, I really would just go in like guns blazing, just like... So, you think that early voting is a danger to your ability to get elected, and you don't think your ideas are bad? Explain that to me. Explain the logic to me of how it is that your ideas are brilliant and electable, but somehow you need to cheat at every election to be able to get your shit done. Please, give me the numbers. I'm begging to know more. Oh my God. Then again, if everybody's gonna be... If it's gonna get turned into grumpy time for me talking about things that matter. Wow! Jesus, that was salty on my part. Holy fuck. I was not ready for how salty that would sound. Oof. That's emotionally manipulative if I ever fucking heard it. There we go. Just kind of burn through a few of these real quick. Trying to think of what my bullshit policies would be if I was elected president. Just like go through the entire presidential process, like really professionally. Like, my opponent has said some very just unkind things about me today. And I don't appreciate Senator Ted Cruz saying those things about me. I am a hardworking citizen, same as the rest of you. I have been in this country my entire life, and I love it with all my heart. And if you wish for Ted Cruz, the most disliked person in the Senate, to continue to be your senator, that's fine by me. But I would work twice as hard for you, the constituents. And then I get into the office and I'm like, all right, motherfuckers, we're passing fucking gun control. Yeah, you didn't think I was gonna do it. Well, guess what, everybody? I'm fucking crazy. Send fucking singing telegrams to Ted Cruz. Took a page of the Dr. Acceleron playbook. Yeah, the Zodiac Killer. The Sun Eater, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, the Sun Eater. Sun meaning male child, not not S-U-N. Though that would be way more terrifying. It's not the truth. Fucking call up Ted Cruz. Hey, Ted. I said this recently to somebody else, and I was like, wow, that's a lot harsher than I would normally want to be. Hey, Ted. What's it like to know your daughter likes butter more than she likes you? And then just hang up, and he's like, stop being mean to me. I don't like it when you're mean to me. That's what Ted Cruz sounds like, by the way. That would normally be a voice of mine, but Ted Cruz does sound like that. I'm going to work for all Texas. I believe in Texas. I want you to believe in me, to believe in Texas. Fuck you, Ted Cruz. It's my platform. How about that? Run in fucking 20 years when Ted Cruz is dead. Dies of all the butter he eats. All the fucking cows. Fuck you, Ted Cruz is my platform. How the fuck does anybody end up being the most hated person in the United States Senate and get reelected? How is that possible? Just a genuine question. The man is the most disliked member of the entire fucking U.S. Senate, whose approval rate, by the way, is like 15%. How the fuck is he the most disliked and still in office? It doesn't even make sense. Is it because he keeps winning the fucking primaries? Oh man, I'm on some level now. Because people lie. People lie and say that he's not their least favorite. It's a weird thing to lie about. I don't know what you mean. I haven't seen the rest of what's been said in chat, so I don't want to weigh in too much. I mean, I don't understand why you would be, though. is my question. Are you willing to have like an actual discussion as to why? Or are you trolling me? Why do you hang out here if you're a Trump supporter? I talk about Trump all the time. Oh yeah, Ted Cruz. He's not Canadian per se. I think he was born on a military base in what's it called? There is, for the record, Zen, and anybody else who's curious, there is absolutely no reason to believe Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. Like, there is zero reason to believe that. Ted Cruz would need to be like 80 years old to be the Zodiac Killer, and he's 42. He would not have been alive. He would have been 4 years old when the killings happened or something like that. So Ted Cruz like porn 9/11. He did do that. Well, no, that's not at all. I disagree with the fundamental question here. And I won't drag you into an actual discussion if you don't want to get into a discussion about it. If you don't want to do it, we don't have to do it. But I sincerely disagree with, I fundamentally disagree with the notion of it's just a vote. It's not just a vote. It is not just a vote. And it's never been just a vote. There is, in my opinion, no way to extricate oneself from one's voting. It either means that one's voting, for one to not have any connection to their voting enough to be able to say, it's just voting, it's not who I am as a person, means that it doesn't matter enough to you to actually be part of your existence. But I feel very, very strongly about what I believe in. And I would never describe what I believe in as just being an opinion or whatever. It's fundamental to who I am. Oh, well, okay. That's an important thing to qualify here. Okay, I thought you were an American Trump supporter, and I was like, you can't just be a Trump supporter and not believe in it. That's my thought process, is like, sure, it's possible to be an outside observer and say, I prefer this guy to everybody else. But there is no way, in my opinion. Well, that's the problem, though, is like, you have to take a very specific stance on what is best for a country to be able to support someone like Donald Trump, in my opinion. And Donald Trump has not exhibited any, in my opinion, based on his voting record, based on his decisions as a president, based on his policies regarding immigration, regarding service in the military, regarding LGBT rights, regarding everything. He has demonstrated absolutely no faith to the country and only to himself. And there's simply no way that I can believe that he is what's best for the country. If, like, you're not wrong, but there's a difference between the right of George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan and the right of Donald Trump. That's the way I would put it, is like, I'll give you an example. There is a mayor in Georgetown. Georgetown is a city in Texas, near Austin-ish. I think it's further north by a ways. But I don't remember where Georgetown is. It's in central Texas somewhere. The mayor of Georgetown is a libertarian. I don't agree with libertarians on nearly anything at all, even a little bit. But this mayor of Georgetown put forth policies that his party, being not necessarily his party because he's libertarian, but the Republican Party, have not been keen on. Namely, policies that ensure carbon independence. Carbon independence, a lot more wind power, a lot more solar power, and those things are policies that are not supported by the RNC en masse, and he supported them because his people supported him. His constituents supported that. They voted for it, and businesses work into it, and they produce more power than they consume in Georgetown and feed it onto the grid, which makes, if I understand it correctly, it makes them money. And he was explaining in an interview somewhat recently why he did that, why he stuck by that, why that's his platform, how he feels about it. And at every turn of the article, my thought process in response to what he was saying was, I don't necessarily agree with your premise. However, we have similar conclusions in mind, and I think there's room for debate on this issue. Because what he was saying was, people don't like being told what to do. We should attempt to find climate solutions that are beneficial for everybody, that are, good, but we don't want to have to use regulation. We don't want to have to regulate it. People don't like regulation. Regulation's bad because he's a libertarian. Libertarians don't like regulation. I think that's a fair statement. And I was like, okay, I don't fully agree, but it's a matter of scale. If we were dealing with this in the 1990s, if we were doing this when An Inconvenient Truth by Al Gore came out and we all made fun of it, if we were doing the policies then, I would absolutely agree that regulation is not going to be the way forward, because it would be it would make people and the Republican Party upset and scared. The problem is, we don't have time anymore for what's most convenient for the corporations and the business entities and whatever else. There won't be a human race in 20 years if we don't get this shit fixed. That's not me saying that. That's not me being a alarmist. That is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a UN organization of multiple governments, saying that if we don't reduce our carbon emissions soon and fast, that we will make the planet uninhabitable to human life. And we will all be dead either through burning, drowning, mudslide, hurricane, tornado, whatever. And so in that case, my feeling was, okay, I have a disagreement with this person, but it doesn't need to come to blows. There's no reason to get angry with them. I disagree with him, but he's doing things that are good for the policy. I'm glad he's doing it. I hope people look at him and they see a good, individual to support here, but I don't necessarily agree with his platform on it. But hey, he's getting results, and that's more than I can say from my own ability as a politician, because I'm not a politician. On the other hand, and I it's the same thing with, I won't say Reagan, because I think Reagan is far out of the realm of understanding economics well enough to fucking do things properly. Reaganomics was devastating for the economy and caused the 1987 crash. I can explain it if you want me to, but I don't have the time. I don't want to get into it immediately. The problem is that the politics of Donald Trump right now are not that same kind of thing. It is not at all, even remotely, a matter of degree. It's not a matter of who is, it's not a matter of opinion in my thought. Donald Trump's opinion is that Muslims should have been banned from the United States by entry because they, as a religion, are too scary to let in. That is uncondonable, in my opinion. Completely and totally uncondonable. He is frequently referred to individuals of Mexican descent, and I should say Central American descent, as being criminals. He's lumped them together as such. He's implied that any attempt to help people get citizenship is job theft. He's said a lot of really fucked up things. Honestly, I don't even want to get into half of them because they're just nonsense. And he's not the same. I don't think it's understandable. I disagree that it's understandable. The most recent mass shooting was a white person. Every mass shooting in the last 6 months has been a white person. Every terrorist attack of the last 5 years of any worth has been either a far-right extremist or a racist or a homophobe or something of that ilk. The number of actual Muslim-based terror attacks of the last 10 years are negligible next to the mass shootings perpetrated and occurred by white people. Okay. You're not wrong that it was encouraged and definitely part of the culture. Islamophobia became part of the culture post 9/11. I was there, and I have seen actors who have mentioned that all of their opportunities for jobs were suddenly turned into all of their opportunities for jobs were suddenly turned into terrorist, or, you know, they were no longer leading men. They were now terrorists. If they were from Pakistan, they could be cast as a terrorist, you know? I don't know where you're going with this. If the argument is that it's uncondonable to do this stuff, but like, what else are you gonna do? I don't know who they is. Furthermore, they is a person you just referred to as supporting. The right, okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, like, Osama bin Laden has been dead for 7 years. We wasted $1.1 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, probably more actually, in the war on terror. And we killed Osama bin Laden. And ISIS is still there because in the process of doing all that, it upset the region even more than it already was. I don't understand what the point of it's understandable is. What is the purpose of saying that? Like, I understand it in the same sense that I can understand white supremacy. That doesn't mean that I need to give people the right to be white supremacists. I guess my question is, like, what's the point of it being understandable? Like, I can understand a lot of things. I can understand through the lens of someone who's a serial killer why they'd be a serial killer. But that doesn't mean that I think it's okay to be a serial killer. You know, I would never condone it. I would never call myself a supporter of them. That's what I'm getting at here, is like, I don't want to accuse you of anything, but I don't feel like you're addressing what I'm saying. We've discussed this before. We've discussed previously the idea that you could identify an enemy in a normal war, but that doesn't. I don't know. I don't understand. I feel like we're having two different conversations right now, and I don't think that we can continue this until we get on the same page again. I don't know if you're setting up something for an expression of something. Think of what from a different point of view? Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to elaborate on why a Muslim ban would be... Yeah, it's... I do... Okay. To explain... I understand how someone gets sucked into white supremacy. I understand, and... I understand how someone can find themselves involved with white supremacists. I'll admit this. I was an angry young white man in the 2000s. If I had been in different places online at the exact same time that I was online, I probably would have been radicalized, along with a lot of people. It can happen to anybody. And I understand the kind of emotions and situations that lead you to that point of view. Or leads one to that point of view. I don't want to accuse anybody here of being a white supremacist. I don't think anyone here is a white supremacist. If you are a white supremacist, please leave. That is not a thing I can ever welcome here. And it's not something that I can declare as being allowable. Right, but by your own admission, what you're saying is that it's or unless you're trying to talk to somebody else, Doc. By your own admission, it's equally patently false. You know, I'm not failing to understand. Like, I wasn't not there post 9/11 for everyone, for the record of everybody. Like, it's not like I've not been living in the same country as everybody else this entire time. I have. It's just, I don't think that the solution to there was a terrorist attack 18 fucking years ago is to ban Muslims now, when they aren't the source of death right now. But anyway, on the point of radicalization, I understand it because, especially in these environments, people talk about, you know, white men and white privilege. It can seem as though, like, oh, there's this really terrible... The Florida nightclub wasn't a Muslim man. I'm pretty sure the Pulse shooting was not a Muslim man. And I'm pretty sure it was not based on any kind of jihadist ideal. I haven't looked into the Pulse shooting in a while, but if I recall correctly, it wasn't someone acting on... It was homophobia affecting that, not religion. It might have been religious homophobia, potentially, maybe, but I really don't remember. That's what I was gonna say. I thought he was Hispanic. I don't know if he was gay, though. I think he was... Yeah, it was obviously homophobia, because it was, you know, a gay nightclub. But, you know, the events you're referencing, I know... What? Omar's not a name that you wouldn't have... What are you talking about? I mean, we could get into that. We could get into the Islamic religion advocating for violence in the same way that the Jewish religion advocates for violence and the Christian religion advocates for violence. You know? Parents are... Okay. So allow me to point out something real quick. You listed 4 events, right? You've listed Pulse, Fort Hood, Boston, and you listed 3 things. Fort Hood was 2012, Boston was like 2013, 2014, and Pulse was 2015. These are all years apart. And there were multiple mass shootings in the time span of all of those. So... You're not going to convince me by listing off the few instances where it was a Muslim person, as opposed to there was this... Heather Heyer was killed by a white supremacist. There was the shooting in the Charleston church. There was... there were a lot of events. There was the Sandy Hook shooting. There was the Las Vegas shooting. There was a shooting in Dallas that killed some cops. There have been so many. It's painful to think about. I know religion and race are the same thing, but you can't try to argue that you can judge someone. You can't just judge someone's name and their race together. I don't understand why war comes up. What does it matter if it triggers a war? What, I don't understand that. Why do you keep saying that? Earlier with the Muslim ban, you mentioned the war on terror. Is the point that there's no entity to declare war on, and therefore it's... I don't understand the connection you're making here. I completely don't understand, and I need you to explain it to me. Because I'm clearly not getting it. And I don't think I'm unintelligent. I don't think it's a lack of imagination on my part. Why is war the solution? Since when has war solved any fucking thing? Like, I recognize we're all going to point to World War II and be like, well, that solved something. But, World War I didn't solve anything. The Spanish-American War barely solved any actual real problem. Most wars just kind of happen for political gain. I just don't understand why war's being brought up if it's a justification. Is it a justification for something? Is it that it's... I don't know why the war is being brought up. I'm not understanding. I would prefer... I genuinely want to understand. I would love it if you would explain it in your own words, because I'm clearly just grasping at straws to get it. And if I don't get it, then I'm not going to learn. And I want to understand. I would love to understand. That's my thing that I need to get, is an understanding. This Tetris. Just fucking Tetris. I should also acknowledge that there are plenty of wars that have been fought for just reasons and Okay. So I get that. I understand that it's on a different scale of death. If that's what you're referring to, if what you're referring to is that mass shootings don't carry the same death toll in singular events the way that 9/11 did, and therefore it was a reason to go to war there, that doesn't necessarily exist for mass shootings? Is that what I'm understanding? Am I even close? Because I feel like I'm not getting it. I'm just trying to understand the points as they are currently laid out, and so I'm trying to get that before I attempt to even engage in because in terms of the actual, like, level of play, like, the explosive device used in Boston, I don't think it actually, I think Boston was one of those where they were able to get people to medical care fast enough to be able to save most of their lives. I don't recall it taking too many lives. It was more just regular old terrorism causing terror. Whereas okay. I don't disagree that mass shootings, I assume they don't usually destroy economies. They haven't yet, at least. One hasn't happened that has made people feel so unsafe as to not leave their homes and not go shopping. But I feel like we're talking about two different things right now. Yes, mass shootings didn't have the same scale of effect on an economy the way that 9/11 did. But 9/11 was 18 years ago, and when I said that last time, you listed off more recent events that you then said didn't have the same impact as 9/11. And I don't know what we're talking about right now. What is the supposition? What is the supposition here? What is the supposition that you're trying to state? We need to start there. Like, what is it that is... Okay, let me roll this back. We were discussing the Muslim ban, and I said it's a terrible thing and should never be condoned. And you said uncondonable but understandable, and I said, how is it understandable? And then now we have danced around a point of 9/11 was bad and caused a war, and when I said there have been much worse things in the ensuing period that are more worthwhile reasons to litigate other groups, why are Muslims being targeted? It went back to 9/11 again. That's the way I've understood this conversation so far. I don't want to talk about I'm not talking about the Muslim ban. The Muslim ban is not my point. My point was not the Muslim ban. The Muslim ban was part of my point, but my point was that there are things... The discussion came from... I don't want to just debate a single policy of one person. My point is that the notion that it's just a vote, it doesn't matter, it's not a reflection of my personality, I think is a flawed understanding of politics and of political action. not to drag out this buzzword too much, I do think it's a sign of privilege. It's a sign of, I don't have to worry about. Okay, that's fair. My point was, you can, in my opinion, someone with real political beliefs that they hold strongly, they're an extension of their personality. They're an extension of their interpersonal belief system. I'll use myself as an example. What? Never mind. I'll use myself as an example. For me, as the person that I am, I'm a strong believer in... Has there even been a Saudi-based terror attack anytime recently? Wasn't the dude in Fort Hood an American? Why would... I'm getting distracted. I don't need to get distracted. It's not important. For me, I am a strong believer that in second chances, in people getting the opportunity to succeed, in people not being shut out of having a home or a job or a life because of some circumstance external to themselves. This is your race, your gender identity, your ability level in terms of people who are disabled. And that informs my beliefs politically. If I didn't believe that people, if I looked at things in a cold and calculating and unfeeling way, which is not the kind of person I am, then I would have different political beliefs. But I feel very strongly for my fellow people. And so I care very deeply about what happens to them. And that's where a lot of my ideas and beliefs come from, is from a place of, I want the people around me to have the same chances in life that I have had. I've made a lot of fucking mistakes, and I have had support systems that have been able to give me opportunities that most people would not ever get and will never get. I'm not perfect, but I'm lucky still. I'm not facing any significant medical bills. I'm not upside down on my mortgage. I'm not so unable to work that I don't know if I'll ever be able to make money again. I'm not asking for money on GoFundMe. I'm just a regular person. So for me, what I care about is making sure the people around me are taken care of. And I see it as an injustice that there are people who are not being given the same opportunity to recover their lives, to take care of themselves, to control their bodies, to do whatever that I have. And that is a meaningful thing to me. That's where a lot of my belief comes from. And I'm certain that if the world was a very different place, if the world was a different place where people were mainly, taken care of and had health care and had child care and had the ability to go on holiday when they wanted to and all that, I would think, okay, I don't need to worry about those things. That's just the way it is. And I would probably worry a lot less, but that's me. That's the person I am. And I wouldn't be the person that you all enjoy being around if I was different. If I was less political, I wouldn't be the person you guys enjoy being around. If I was less the person who says, no, opinions politically do matter. They matter immensely. They're a reflection of our inner selves and our inner wants and desires, then that is critical. And in my opinion, as an extension of people should be allowed to do these things without fear of losing all their money, without fear of losing their jobs, without fear of losing whatever, individuals who go out and say Donald Trump instructed the Department of Justice to ensure that there were not protections for transgender students or for transgender military service members. And that is an infringement on somebody's ability for bodily autonomy. That is an extension of my political belief. If I believe that people should have the autonomy of their own body, their ability to decide what is best for their own body, then it would be against my belief system, therefore, to tell somebody you can't do with your body what you decide. You don't get to identify differently than how you were born. You don't get to behave differently than how you were born. You have to deal with it because I say so. That is an infringement of what I believe to be a necessary part of someone's ability for self-determination. And that to me is an important thing that should be dealt with politically. And so I can't support somebody who would instruct the DOJ to make that sort of change happen. Similarly, if I believe that an individual should have the right to cross borders and seek asylum legally, as many people seeking asylum in the United States do, then as long as they are not attempting to do something against the law, which most are not, and are interested in seeking just being able to work here and live here and survive here, or if they're fleeing violence or destruction or whatever, doing terrible this round. That is a right of them as a human being. And it's not an American right. It's not a right of some international law. That's just a right of being a human being, is that you shouldn't have to stay somewhere and die as opposed to leaving and living. That is, if human beings in America were being treated horribly, and I'll use a perfect example. If human beings in America were being treated horribly and were being being treated as property and being bought and sold and being not guaranteed any freedoms in their life, then that would be a significant problem. And if they were to attempt to get refuge somewhere else and were denied that, I would look upon those who denied them refuge and say, what the hell is wrong with you? That happens to be an example from American history where the Underground Railroad would lead former slaves to Canada, where they were not governed by the same laws, and the ability to be taken to Canada and saved from American Fugitive Slave Act laws and that sort of thing is a stain on American history that we didn't take care of slavery sooner, honestly. And it's an example of a time when another entity had to step up. And we are, for better or for worse, as Americans, and I'm saying we on this because, it reflects all of us. No one will look into the future in the history books and say, well, if we live, no one will get into the history books and say, oh, well, you know what? I bet there were a bunch of people who were at home and they were just like, they just didn't feel like they could vote for either of the candidates because they didn't really represent their values fully, They're not going to say that. They're going to say that every single one of us is guilty. They're going to paint us with a broad stroke in the future, and we deserve that. That's a bit of a rant on my part, but I don't think you're all too surprised. So that, to me, is an important thing. So suicide would be legal. I mean, more or less, but the fact of the matter is that if suicide is legal, then, who's punished for suicide? The families of the suicide victims. There are genuinely people who have been taken to court because their family member committed suicide. So in the midst of mourning, they have to deal with like they have to deal with the realities of like, oh, by the way, you're now legally responsible for them having killed themselves. Cool. That's not fair. It also puts a strong onus on people who are terminally ill. Terry Pratchett's a great example. Terry Pratchett wanted the right to self-determination, the right to say, kill me at this point, because it was his way of saying, all right, I have the ability to treasure every day because I decide when I go. I'm the one who gets to say when it's over. I get to decide when there's no turning back. I don't get to be kept alive ad infinitum to make somebody else feel better. I get to go when I say it's time. And that is, I think, a discussion that needs to be had, that we've been completely avoiding having in every developed country, is that there are people who don't want to be being kept alive because medically assisted suicide is not legal. And Dr. Kevorkian went to jail for it, even though, you know, the people, he wasn't killing anybody. He was helping them to not live anymore. It's a subtle distinction. But if a soldier killing someone in wartime isn't murder to be tried for in an international court later in life, then we have a different kind of definition of life and death than we think we do. So if you don't do it correctly, you're punished for suicide. Well, that's true both of legally and otherwise. Can you imagine? Like, I've never actually gotten to the point where I was close enough to killing myself where I actually attempted it, thankfully. But I can't imagine how alienating it would have felt to attempt it and to have the response from the government, from the police, be, good job, jackass, here's a ticket. Like, just feel even worse. If you agree with everything I'm saying, then I fundamentally misunderstand how you can. Onus is on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how true that is in terms of legal trouble. Oh god, I can't look at chat right now. I just realized, like, my point is, it's when in regards to agreeing with everything I'm saying, if you're talking about the suicide thing, then like, okay. But if it's in regards to the right to self-determination and all that, then how can any vote be, you know, not an aspect of your personality? Is it just that idea of, yeah, everybody should have the right to self-determination, but it shouldn't be my job to ensure their determination? Right, but it's not always a feeding tube or life support. There are people who have... Terry Pratchett had, like, I think it was dementia. And that caused him to be alive and living in a state that most would describe as alive, but that is a state of a lot of confusion and sadness and pain. And Terry Pratchett, famed author, advocated for his ability to determine his own path forward. Yes. Well, not many doctors, but not many doctors want to perform abortions, but they're not forced to. The people who work at informed consent clinics, that's... I don't know. This just it has that sound to it. That sound that yeah. They're forced not to perform these procedures that they have no issue doing in some cases. Which is... yeah. Like, the reality is that, like, yes, if you want to take the stance that it's up to every individual person to lead their own lives and pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, then fine. But that's not how the world works. It's just fucking not. There are so many people out there who will never get the kinds of second chances a lot of us get and are allowed to get because they were criminals when they were young and went to jail, and now they can't get a job. And they can't ever vote again. You know, if you grow up in a bad neighborhood and then try to make ends meet by stealing a car at some point, well, that's just your own fault. Shouldn't have stolen that car. It ignores all of the circumstances that lead to that sort of thing. And it puts the onus on the individual when even when the individual may not have the ability to do their own thing. It ignores all of the circumstances that lead to these things and just says, well, you know, it's bad, sure, but I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want to have to fix it. That's what I'm hearing here. And to me, that's just not being a good citizen of the world. And like, you don't have to be a good citizen of the world, but it's fine to not, but it's one of those things where the rest of us shouldn't be looked down on for caring. You know what I mean? A 2-component IV drip. I don't actually know what medically assisted suicide entails on the medical end because I'm not a doctor. Jesus. I don't know. It just, to me, because I'm of the opinion that people can be seen in their belief systems, like, it's a reflection of oneself. And if someone sees me and thinks, God, that he's just the most self-righteous, fucking angry jackass. He always thinks he's right. He goes on these long rants where he describes things that could never be implemented, like communism or free healthcare for everybody or free college, and just goes on and on and on. This guy likes the smell of his own fucking farts, obviously. Cool. That is a fine description of me. I am in no way embarrassed to be seen as vocal. Shrill, one might even describe me as. But I'm genuine. I believe these things. And at least do me the service of believing that. It's not me trying to virtue signal. It's not me trying to win internet points. If I wanted to win internet points, I would share Pepe memes about Muslims. Doc's right. Thank you. No, you're totally right. You're absolutely correct that, like, the majority of us go through our lives without the vast majority of us go through our lives without ever being seen or questioned by anyone around us, and that's totally fucking fine. There are years of my life that, like, have been spent without me talking to more than 5 or 10 people Maybe. Seriously. And that's me. That's my existence. But I don't know. To me, the notion of one can support something without it defining them, it's just, I don't think it's possible. It really only works for things that are so common sense that they just shouldn't be discussed. You know, stuff like legalization of marijuana. Most people believe in legalization of marijuana at this point. As far as I'm aware, polls are showing most people are into it because even if no one wants to smoke it, it's, you know, it creates growth for the states. It creates money in an industry. Yeah, no shit. Sucked into the political discourse. So, but the problem is that to people like me, I want to go a step further. You shouldn't just legalize marijuana. The people who are serving sentences in jail for having sold marijuana or possessed marijuana when it was illegal should be released and have their crimes exonerated. Because if it's no longer a crime now, it should retroactively stop being a crime for them. And I know that there are people, I know somebody who sold weed who fucking argued that it was a crime then, so they should have to suffer, that they knew it was a crime and they engaged in it willfully, so they should have to suffer the consequences of that action. To which I fucking think, fuck that shit. That's horse shit. That's just stupid. That's just justifying the prison system in the United States, which is bullshit. So, like, that to me is just fucking weird. It is not fair that there are people who are rotting in prison right now because they had, you know, they had weed on their person in 1976 when some dude in Colorado can get treated like the next Elon Musk, and I mean that with all the love and hate for Elon Musk I can feel. Restaurant smoking ban is bullshit. I'm pissy about it. It is up to the restaurant, or it's up to the city, or it's up to the state. Like, smoking's not a disability. like I don't mean to be rude to smokers in chat, but that is a system that they should now. In fairness, there should be more in place to get people who do smoke off of nicotine, because nicotine is right. The music ban, public spaces, same thing with universities. Often the universities don't make the situation illegal on their own. It's just state law that no state organization can have smoking environments. But there should be more in place to get people who are on cigarettes off of cigarettes in order to support those people. But at the same time, like, secondhand smoke is extremely deadly, and it's bad for people, and it, you know, the problem is that smoking is one of those things that's genuinely so harmful to both the person doing it and everyone around them that it's like, really the only fair way to smoke is to smoke unfiltered cigarettes. Like Doc apparently does. Because at least then you're getting all the carcinogens everybody else around you is getting. It's only fair. Joking aside. The issue to me is just that, like, smoking's terrible for everybody's health. And I'm glad I never got addicted to it, even though I have smoked cigarettes in the past. It's just it's one of those things that like it's like heroin. You shouldn't do it. I know it's not as like I know that it's not the same in terms of like destroying your life as heroin, almost, but it's pretty much as bad for your body as far as I understand it, and it's about as addictive as I understand it. My not smoking Tyler. Oh my god. I'm not entertained. I'm not even gonna respond to that. Heroin kills you faster? Yeah. I mean, nicotine is... I cannot believe this is what we're going to disagree on here in this chat. Nicotine is bad for you, and you shouldn't put it in your body. It will... The cigarettes will absolutely fucking kill you if the fucking government or the climate don't get you first. And I don't want any of you to die. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean about there needs to be some sort of... It really, if there was more... I wonder if there's any... I wonder how much money goes into research to find, like, new alternative ways to reduce nicotine cravings. You know what I mean? Like, so far, the plan is just nicotine gum. And just fucking tell people to fuck themselves. But I wonder if there's any R&D being done on ways to... I guess there are pills out there that are meant to reduce cravings. Oh, well, Butrin's used for that. Never mind. I'm being stupid. It's the cravings. It's the physical withdrawal. It's the physical changes to your body. It's... yeah. A lot happens. And I should say, yes, it's unfortunate for people who are addicted to nicotine that there's no space to smoke when you're out and about. But at the same time, like, as long as those spaces exist, then more people will have the ability to get hooked on this terrible thing that's really, really fucking bad for your health. And it just, there's no easy solution to it. I don't want to tell you guys that you're just shit out of luck, because you're not. I don't think you are shit out of luck, but I do know that it's like damn near impossible to get off this shit. So I wish I had something I could say that was more satisfying than I just don't want more people to get stuck in this same cycle. You know? Going for a smoke and coffee with a cigarette with coworkers. Cigarettes get me from going full Michael Douglas. Okay. Well, nicotine is one of the... I think that the problem is nicotine is one of those drugs that does cause a physical craving, and does rewire the brain to crave it. And a result of that is... I'm sure there are people who get started vaping and at a point they're like, I need more nicotine in this. And then they switch to potentially unfiltered cigarettes, and then they might switch to dip from that. Like, it's just... There's too many ways in which it can be a terrible thing. This is my teetotaler side that I know everybody hates. I know nobody agrees with me on this. This is the kind of shit we get into where people are going to be like, Dreward, you're just a fucking... You don't get it because you don't drink or smoke. What do you do? Lucky strikes. Yeah, please don't die. I don't want you to die. I'm not saying that, like, people will do it 100%. Oh, yeah, they definitely will. But the ability to do it is there. The gateway to it is there. The chance to go from, okay, this thing here, it's just God, it's not strong enough yet, to this thing will kill me, but it'll be strong enough. It is available, and I don't know. I just don't think there's anything to advise. What's it called? Smoking or vaping. IMO. And I'm not like, you know, I'm not trying to preach to people here. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you just gotta think positive. Like, I have multiple medications for obsessive compulsive disorder and anxiety. Like, I'm not perfect. My entire thing is you shouldn't get on things that you can be addicted to for life, and that can potentially give you cancer. I don't know. Is the jury still out on vaping giving you cancer? Because I'm pretty sure vaping is still not that good for your health. It definitely isn't good for your addictive situation, but I don't know if it's been determined yet if it's okay to inhale all that stuff all the time. Oh, that's fair. Everything gives you cancer. What a world. And you know what? I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong on this one. We're not going to see eye to eye on this, and this is why I don't get very involved in discussions about nicotine or alcohol, because anybody can ask me, do you have the requisite life experience to weigh in on this? And my answer is no. I don't talk to the right people to get the information about it. I don't want you guys to die, and I don't want you guys to spend the rest of your lives paying for something every single paycheck that is going to either live with you forever and never go away or kill you. I don't like that. That's what this comes down to for me. That's what I'm feeling right now. I want to share that in those terms, because that might be childish and it might be silly, but it's the truth. I can't stop paying taxes like that. I mean, I'm not equipped to get into a discussion where I tell you guys that you should live. I'm not equipped for that. Like, I'm not trained in it. I don't know how to approach it. I can't tell you that you should want to live, because honestly, there isn't really much to recommend it. But I like you guys, and I want you to be around. I don't want you to die. I would be sad if you died, Holland. Does that give you a will to live? I know it's manipulative, and it's me doing emotional blackmail of, I would be sad if you did this thing. Oh, boy. Yeah, well, that's why I said, if the government doesn't kill you first and the climate doesn't kill you first, then cigarettes definitely will. So really, right now is the only valid time to smoke. You shouldn't still, because it'll be bad for you. And like, there's just, I don't know. I don't see any reason why anyone would defend cigarettes as like, yeah, I would do them in a heartbeat all over again. I just do it all again the same way that I've done it up to this point. That's gotten me a habit that's expensive. I mean, yeah, but if you live like that, you'll never get anything done. If we all just continue, I mean, realistically, that's what I came to whenever I had to deal with the reality of, like, pretty recently I was dealing with the reality of, like, we're all just gonna die. Like, before anything's ever made of our lives, we're gonna die. Like, if the climate continues to go unchecked, and it will at this rate, then we're just gonna end up burning ourselves out and dying. And it'll happen. The estimate is the next 18 to 20 years, which means that if you see a toddler, they won't see 30 before they're dead. Oh, no, obviously we're all gonna die eventually, but, like, the notion of we're all gonna die eventually versus we're all gonna die before Marvel gets all of their films out is a very different number. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to be nihilistic about it and be like, oh, whatever, we're all gonna die anyway. It's like, yeah, but not on the timetable that we were not on this timetable. I wasn't planning to die at 45. You know what I mean? I was planning on dying old. Really fucking old. And no matter how apathetic you are about that, I fucking like being alive. I prefer life to the alternative. And we can be as grumpy as we want to be about it. And, oh, well, I didn't vote for Kang. Or whatever. But the reality is, regardless of what we all want, it's gonna happen, we're gonna die, and it's very upsetting. Yes, undiscovered country whose travelers born. Yeah. I mean, smoking is a different evil than drinking, I think, because drinking can get you into a much worse state of inability to function. I mean, man, we're looking at not coming back as anything. I'll be looking to come back as a bear at the rate we're going. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be lucky to come back as a third generation new cat post-apocalypse. That's what we're dealing. We're dealing with the end of humanity. It's not like the end where I'm like, oh, let's come back as another human being. There won't be any human beings. They'll have all died. And it will happen it'll happen within the time where we're still mourning Betty White. I mean, that's a very kind thing for you to say about how you'd come back, but I think if you come back as that, you're not coming back at all, because I don't jog. Oh, boy. Joke's on you, have already mourned Betty White. I'm not trying to say that we should all spend every day like waking up in a cold sweat, like, okay, days are numbered, Earth's still here for now, marking off on our calendars or whatever. But my point is more like, it's the apathy is what's like, as long as the apathy doesn't follow you everywhere, then it's that's fine. Like, as long as we are willing to say to ourselves, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm preaching too much to you guys, to you people. But my point isn't like be afraid, be scared all the time, buy my book about how to survive the apocalypse and how to achieve a place in heaven after the rapture happens. My point is more like the more we ignore this problem and the more we don't acknowledge it, the more it's not going to go away. It's more of a situation of like we should you know, we should get angry. I should put my money where my fucking mouth is and call my goddamn representatives and tell them, look, you son of a bitch. If it looks like we're going down, I'm going to come into your fucking office and kill you first. Wow. This is why I don't call my representatives. They call the cops on me. Seriously, though, like, there are people who believe in this, who believe in changing this stuff. There's ways to buy ourselves time. And the way to do that is to speak to your representatives, vote, write people, organize, protest, all that jazz. I'm glad I made you laugh in the midst of me making everybody feel bad. I don't want people to feel bad. I don't want you guys to think that I've just, like, given up on everything. But it's a Henry Rollins thing. Henry Rollins of Black Flag, that's the band, right? Wrote a letter a while back that was attributed to him, but I'm actually not certain he wrote it. I never checked if he actually wrote it. But it was essentially him saying, I don't like the idea of we're fucked. We're fucked means stop fighting. We're fucked means give up because it's all over and we're all doomed. And I don't want to be saying that we're fucked. I don't think that we're fucked in the sense that I don't think we are right now perma-fucked. I think we can undo the problems if we acknowledge that they're there and tell each other, I want to live. And I want you to live with me. Not in my house, necessarily, but... Is it Rollins? I mean, it's an ambiguous pronunciation. You know what I mean. I've only ever read the name. I never heard him say it. He's got very large biceps. I don't think about him very often because I'm worried he'll come and beat me up. It is ambiguous. If there's an O, we're not going to get into fucking phonics here. I don't think Rollins is a fucking... Is he from the Northeast? Is that why it's non-ambiguous? Like, I feel like if it was R-A-W-L-I-N-S, it would be unambiguous. With the O, I don't know if it's an O or an A. You know? He's from DC. That explains a lot. But anyway, my point is, I don't want you guys to think that I'm just preaching at you that you should give up and go buy a fucking underground bunker and to buy my book about how to make an underground bunker. I'm saying that we need to stop talking like we're like we need to acknowledge that if we do nothing, we're dead. More dead than we would be otherwise, or rather equally dead but way sooner. And like, I want to attend my sister's wedding, you know? I want to get married someday. I want to eventually find out what career I'm best suited for. I want to live a happy life. And I don't want that to be all under this big looming threat of, by the way, this could all just end. This could all just be over. Not due to anything unforeseen, not due to an accident, not due to something around the corner, not due to a car, due to something that we have known has been happening since 1912, man. Live in my house with me? It runs on solar power. Cervantes? No, she's not getting hitched. That's my point. She's not gonna get hitched. You gotta go to bed. Okay, well, have a good night. I'm sorry if I was mean to you. I don't want to be mean. I appreciate you being here and putting up with me, even though I'm trying to make you think critically of your own beliefs, which I think everybody should do, even myself. I don't want anyone to ever feel like I find myself to be perfect and everybody else is like... It's not a cop-out. I'm not saying, oh, I'm not saying that I'm fucking... I'm not saying that I'm not gonna attend my sister's wedding, or that I'm not gonna try and get married, or that I'm not gonna find a career. But we're not talking about this looming threat of thermonuclear war that might or might not happen. We are talking about people who are born right now graduating from high school at the end of the fucking world. That's not distant. That's not some unnecessary looming threat. And I would love to live a happy life. I would love to be able to do all the things I want to do with my life and never look back. And I still can. I'm not saying that I can't. I'm not saying that I'm unable to. But I am saying that it's very hard for me to feel like, well, you know, it's very hard to feel hopeful about it with that looming over me. And I know you're going to say, well, there's your problem. You're being optimistic. How dare you? But, man, like, I want to be hopeful. I want to watch my sister become a successful dance choreographer. And that's going to take more than 15 years. I want to watch her be an international name like Baryshnikov. And that's going to take more than 15 years. And it will break my heart if the reason that doesn't happen is because we didn't listen to the newspapers from 1912. That's what I'm getting at. And being snide with me about, well, you're not going to get anything done is, you know, it's just not helpful. I want to believe. If that is my crime, then I will take a guilty, I will take a guilty plea. If my crime is that I want to believe and that belief is illegal. But I want to believe that we can do better for ourselves and for everybody around us. And that's my feeling. Is like, I don't want to just spend my life saying we should have done something as everything. Like, Nebraska's been is it still underwater right now? Well, I know you'd prefer it, but I don't fully agree with that, with the idea that would actually accomplish much of anything. It is pretty unfeasible. I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you are willing to say it's unfeasible. And I'll be honest with you, if the world wasn't going to die in 15 years, according to the IPCC, then, like, I'd be way more on board with, like, yeah, let's fucking nuke everything. Not nuke everything, but, like, let's get the fucking black masks and the gas going. But, you know, kind of seems like, it's like Fable 3 at that point. Oh, you want to be the king so goddamn bad? All right, brush, brush. Here's the chair. By the way, dickheads, there's a fucking all-encompassing evil spirit that's going to come through and murder us all, and all I was doing was trying to keep it at bay. So, you know what? Fuck you. Have fun running shit then, asshole. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I just want to be better at Tetris. I don't. I feel like I'm good enough at Tetris. I know what I want. I want to dance. No, I don't. Had to busk for $4 million. Yeah, that game's kind of weird. And then everybody, you get into power, and like apparently either everybody knows that an all world-ending evil is coming, and they just don't fucking care as long as you keep your political promises, or they do care, but just think their shit's more important. Ugh. That's humans for you. Look, I know the world's gonna end, but I need to make sure I got mine. You know what I'm saying? I do know what you're saying. I wish I didn't, but I do. Fucking God. What I do like about that, I will say about that system, I do appreciate that the game organizes it where the most recent promises you made and the larger groups you made promises to, they occur. The people you made most recent promises to, you have to keep their promises first versus keeping somebody else's promises last. The first person you've agreed to, you get his promises done last, which I think is like, oh, okay. I don't know. It's kind of a neat. It's like that game has a couple of neat things in it here and there. And I feel like there's definitely some stuff in here to recommend this game. I don't know how much there is or how much I recommend it, but I have Resist Bot. Does that count? Is that on? I don't remember what that is. Is Resist Bot one of that thing where you text your representatives to tell them that they suck shit and that you wish you could replace them? I wish I could vote for you. I wish I could vote you out of office even faster than I currently do. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. Well, a Smog Witch beat me. What else is new? I gotta call it a night. Anyway, I don't think we've made any progress on anything tonight, other than knowing that I make a terrible president. Oh, boy. That, I think, is the T. I think the T is I'd be a terrible president and none of you should vote for me. Thank you for joining. All your ranting and you still lost to a Smog Witch. Coming in fourth at the very end. I was not paying attention during most of that. 6 hours to get to work now. Leave voicemails for your representatives and your governor and tell them that you believe in something that they should vote on. I don't know what is happening in Utah right now. I don't know what critical legislation is currently trying to get through the Utah legislation. But I believe that there is something of importance. believe it or not, the people who are staffers for representatives do say that they gauge public opinion on something based on phone calls to their office. That's why a number of people who were like really pro repeal of Obamacare made an about face when they had to go home and face their constituents, because their constituents turned out to town halls and made phone calls and made protests and said, if you take our health care, we will guillotine you. We will take you to the guillotine and we will fucking kill you. And a bunch of Republicans were like, you know what? I don't believe in repeal and replace that much. I think we're going to be okay with not repealing and replacing then. And then now it's so unpopular when Trump was like, we're going to repeal and replace again. Mitch McConnell himself was like, no, we're not. I feel like I agree that no one has an actual guillotine, but I don't think it'd be that hard to make in your garage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've watched a bunch of videos of a guy making a fucking guitar out of colored pencils in his garage, and I feel like people could probably make a guillotine pretty okay. It might be like a lawnmower blade attached to, like, sharpened to a very fine edge and attached to a large weight. But I believe in the trust me, if there's one group I believe in the ingenuity of, it's people in the former Confederate States of America and their ability with wood, their garages, and duct tape. I don't think lack of guillotine is the problem there. Call it a strong opinion, but I don't think that the problem is a lack of guillotine. Oh my God. Holland gets it. Gun in every pot and 2 guns in every garage. Why doesn't the NRA, like, aside from the fact that it's like a terrible slogan, why doesn't the NRA use that? I ask you. That's fucking NRA politics right there. Drew, I want a drunk, what do? Are you meaning like you want to get drunk, or are drunk, or you want a drunk in your house? I don't think Mia Love is in house right now, so it's fine. Gun in every pot and 2 guns in every garage. I can't top that. Thank you all for joining me. Holland has made the funniest joke this stream. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. I don't have anyone that gives little thanks to, and that's fine. I'll be back tomorrow for First Contact Day. We're going to play FTL and probably not talk about politics. I might stop doing these types of streams if they're just going to be political. I don't feel good about it. I feel weird having like a political rant stream. You know? Like, I feel like I'm turning into like the leftist equivalent of like JonTron. Like where like people come for the jokes and then they get like half-assed political beliefs. The difference is mine aren't racist, so at least we have that. His are, as far as I know, I hope he's just disavowed everything he said and was just like, fuck it, it's just not gonna be a thing anymore. Anyway, have a good night, everyone. Keep your socks dry, keep your belly full. I want to get socks. I want to get comfy socks that aren't too thin. I don't know. Socks are one of those things. Like, I'm just going to go on a bit of a thing here, if you don't mind. Like, I want socks that are comfy and thick, and I would love Drew Woo socks. I would honestly adore having those. But I'm just referring to like actual socks. Like all the socks I've ever bought in my life have all been like these athletic socks that you could wear to go running or something. Because that's the thing socks are mainly good for, I guess, is wearing on shoes that you run in. But like, I want like fuzzy. Like my sister has this pair of fuzzy socks. My sister has a pair of socks. This pair of socks that are like blue and fuzzy and thick. But like my feet sweat too much and my house is dirty and they would get dirty and I would sweat in them. And like I wouldn't have warm feet. They'd just be sweaty. I'm just a disaster. Ooh, woo. I'm just sad. Ooh, woo. And on that thought, have a good night. I hope you get some socks that are both dry and comfy and that you like wearing. So, I'll see you all later. Have a good night.